Hey Tarot Tubers, April here on Tarot and Witchery, and I wanted to share with you today 6 oracle decks that kind of feature words on them, like good keywords or sayings, and I want to talk to you a little bit about how I use them. This goes well with my Using Oracles series, so if you want to get more ideas for how you can use them, you can, but I'm going to give you some specific ideas for these particular oracles, and all of them are down below in the description box if you're interested in purchasing them or checking them out more. Before I jump into that, I just want to say you should sign up for my free newsletter, which gets you entrance into my free learning library with lots of spreads and fun crafts and things like that. And that's down below as well. Okay, let's jump into it with my first oracle. This one I got, oh my gosh, I think I got this like 6 or 7 years ago. And it has really been one that has brought me, it's a pick-me-up oracle. This is a pick-me-up oracle. It's got really good backs. Now this isn't like super great cardstock. It's just kind of regular shiny cardstock. But, you know, I like to use this as, you can use this as a foundation card. If you've seen my foundation card video, you could use it as an anchor card if you've seen that video. So like you'll see on here, it says action. You have the courage to express the unique, loving colors of your soul. Again, this is a super positive oracle. It's really brightly colored. Each one has a little heart on it. There's the backs, kind of swirly and fun. Kind of goes with just about anything. Ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. So taking ownership of everything that you do. So again, a great thing to use as a foundation card in your readings. You can pull these, like if you're thinking like, what do I need to work on? You could pull one of these cards first and then lay out tarot after it, you know, ask some questions with it, or you could later use it at the end as like a little, like, oh, here's a little thought after your reading. You can pull them. No, let's look at empathy. I like empathy. Let's look at empathy and see what it says. Now, first of all, thank you for it actually is in alphabetical order, which I really like about the book, making it very easy to use. I don't have to look anything up. And you'll see it says you feel and understand the emotions of another in service of love. You are able to learn so much when your actions originate from a place of love, and the souls in your immediate sphere are your greatest teachers. Being able to sense how others feel and see through their eyes is a gift. When you open yourself up emotionally and become part of another person's reality and make it your own, the boundaries between the two of you seem to fade. You begin to realize that you truly are of the same energy and that the state of separateness is purely an illusion. I wouldn't say this is for every little thing that you do, you know what I mean? It's not toxic positivity, but it is one of those, I need to pick me up and I need some direction to go in my way positively. Oracle number 2, you've probably seen me use this a lot and I love it. I featured it in my foundation card video and I use it all the time. This is a staple in my, I'm always reaching for it. That's interesting. I really struggled for a word. Library, collection. What do you guys call your group of decks? Do you call it a library? Kind of curious. Let me know below. Keep your commitments. Trust the divine plan. Admit your vulnerabilities. Retreat. Correct your mistakes. Begin to explore. Love your soul, not a role. I love getting that. So I use this deck all the time. I will sometimes use it. One of the things you can do is like, I'm going to do a body, mind, and spirit draw and kind of, you know, see what comes up for you in that. Tune out distraction. So it's got kind of directives in it. Wake up call. This is the Divine Energy Oracle by Sonia Choquette. I use this all the time. I love it. Like I said, if you're looking for what a foundation card is, I did a video on that. And I have other ideas for using Oracle cards as I'm doing that series this year. And when I say year, I mean October to October is kind of my year. Choose friends wisely. Claim your art. Be decisive. go with the flow, think things through, shine your light. Again, if you're looking for ways to integrate oracle cards in with tarot or using oracle cards together, check out my series on that. Look in my beginner's library, like my learning library that I have on my playlist on YouTube, and you'll find all sorts of ideas in there on how to use oracle cards in your spreads. The Divine Energy Oracle by Sonia Choquette. This is number 2, and it's down below. I can't recommend it enough. Mass market, super cheap. Number three number 3 on the list. I use this oracle with a lot of my witchy decks, and when I really want to expand out into different directions in my life, and I love the illustrations on this one. You won't be surprised to see this. Many of you probably have this oracle. Let's pick a really good one. Again, witchy, like the other world. It had Excalibur, Chalice Hill. So what makes this Sacred Grove, what makes these cards really cool is that there are words on each side. And I got this idea from one of you on here when I talked about this in another video, is using these words. So I'm going to read them, which I need to kind of get my glasses at the right angle. Renewal is over here. Longevity is over here. Protection is over here. Nature is over here. Now you could just use it like that, but you can also use it and then lay out. I'm just like grabbing a deck really quick. You can also use it like that, and you could lay out cards for each one to go with it. So each word, like how am I going to be working with protection? The Hanged One. Well, I'm gonna see where the universe is setting me aside, and how am I? Maybe I'm being protected by being, set aside. Sometimes when the Hangman comes up, you think, why am I in a holding pattern? Well, maybe the universe is protecting you. So, I would kind of go through that and work with the cards in that way, and you kind of get the idea. Or you can just use the words on the card to kind of boost you into that way. Now, if you're into the Avalonian mysteries, then you're going to love this, the White Spring. This is the Mists of Avalon Oracle by Rose and Sarah. And of course, the illustrations are by Nadia Turner, and they are just gorgeous. I absolutely love this. It goes great with my Green Witch Tarot. I even like it with the Everyday Witch Tarot. I've got my Arthurian Tarot. Boy, do I have tarots that take me in this direction, but really there's the Tor. Love, love, love this deck. It is mass market. The Mists of Avalon Oracle by Rose and Sarah. Not expensive, and it's just a joy to have in my collection. Number 4 is an oracle that was sent to me. I think this is a fun oracle to have. It is a circular oracle, which I know is not easy to shuffle, but there's no up or down on it, and it's a very easygoing oracle, and I find it's really good for using for intentional spreads. You can use this as your intention card. Here's the back. It's just really simple. You know what, you guys, the gilding on this is really nice. It's that like matte gilding. It does not hurt my hands. The more you use, it's a shiny deck, but the more you use the cards, the more they just become easier and easier to shuffle. And so you have like this picture on here, and it'll say fish. So maybe you just want to use that. Like, what does fish mean to me? What does that bring to mind? But then it also has 2 keywords at the top, like abundance and luck. Dog, you have loyalty and determination. House, you have relocation, home. So you can see how using the keywords is something that you can do. Or again, you can just use this word and pull off that. Work on using your intuition and allowing yourself to think, what does this mean to me? What do coins mean to me? It has luck and money, on here. But is that what it means to me? Maybe I don't want to look at this. Maybe I just want to look at this and let myself dive in and then draw some cards to go with it, using it as a foundational card. You could use this as an anchor card. Check out my video on that. You could use it as your intention card, and I have a video on that, but that's where you go through and you think, I need to work on something, and I'm going to look for the card that has that intention that I'm trying to work on, and then you build a spread from that. So you can look up that as well in my playlist there. Coffee Cup Oracle is the name of this, and it's by Amira Ceylon, and it's illustrated by Sarah Maftoum. Whoops, I forgot to add on this one that it does have a book. And they're really simple. So like on anchor, stability and security here, it says the anchor can indicate that you are either consolidating your own security or pulling up anchor and finding a new source location to stabilize yourself. So it's got ideas for what they mean. Next up on my list is this deck that I keep in this bag here that I have. This is probably my most used Oracle deck. I talk about it all the time. If you know what's in this bag, like what is my favorite Oracle deck that I say everybody should have, then go ahead and write down below. See if you know me. How many of you know what deck I'm about to tell you about? Did you write it? Did you write it in there? Isn't this cool? Bad smoke of air and fire of earth, bless and cleanse this home and hearth, drive away all harm and fear. Only good may enter here. So I love this little thing on there. Oh, have you recognized it? Come on, you guys have to know what this is. It's the Power of Surrender deck by Judith Orloff. I know, I talk about it all the time, but I just can't recommend this deck enough. Like, this deck is just so dang good. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. I don't like the images at all. I don't use this at all for the images. I don't find that they have anything to do with what's going on the card. They're irrelevant. But what it has to say is great. So speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. These are so good. And if you don't know who Judith Orloff is, she is someone who writes about being an empath and living a life as an empath and not burning out. Surrender to silence. And so surrender your addictions. So some things are letting go and some things you're surrendering to in here. And I find that when I get to the end of my reading, having this is really it's just a really great thing to have. I think there's always something that we need to release. Whenever we're looking to do a reading, there's something that we're going to need to release ourselves into or from in order to really go in a solid direction. So again, this is the Power of Surrender cards by Judith Orloff. She's a doctor. And the way that I like to do this is I like to fan these, which I'm not fanning them so well because I don't have a ton of room right here because I've tried to get this really close. But I like to fan them out and then just put my hand over it and be like, okay, something's over here. What do I need? What do I need today? Actually, I feel like it's this one. Surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. Number 6. Get this down, this hand thing down. There we go. Number 6. This is a lesser known oracle. I'm sure that not many of you know about this. She produces it on her own and there's just limited numbers of them. So you might want to try to get it. And if you can't get them, then put yourself on the list, which is what I did. I actually waited a year for mine, but she is now back in stock. So you can get this. And she has a number 2. I just have number 1. So what is it you're thinking? Oh my gosh, I love this deck. So I got this deck because I had a ladies group that I ran for a year, and one of the women in England had this deck, and I would have her pull a card for our group every time, and it was always amazing. It was just like always amazing. So you have the word at the top, and you have these drawings, and I do think that the drawings are relevant, and then you have the words at the bottom. So there's no book with this, you just get this. So this one says, enchantment, walk lightly, lighten up, grounding, spend time in nature, contemplate potential new beginnings, and what's next. Consider your dreams fantasy. So you've got a lot to work with there. If you wanted to draw a bunch of cards about that on how you could really move forward in your life in these ways, then you would be able to do that. Again, I feel like these are always something that I'm working on healing within myself, something that needs nurturing, something that I need to turn towards in my life. Spirit message, soul chakras, self-love, emotional healing, stability. Oh, what is it you're saying? What is it, April? Just tell me. It's the Healing Energy Cards by Leanne Peters, and she's the founder of Temple of Balance. This is coming from Australia, so I will tell you, it's not an expensive deck, but getting it to you is expensive. I'm just going to say it. I saved it for last because it is a little bit more expensive. But I literally waited over a year to where I was on the waiting list for a year. And then finally she's like, hey, I'm reprinting them. So this isn't something that's just like on demand all the time. And I kind of wish I had ordered the second half of it at the same time. So, new life. Nurture the new as it grows within you. Bring your dreams to life. Focus, nourishment, a fresh new start. Transform growth, support, balance, life. Yeah, so I love these cards. Again, the Healing Energy Cards by Leanne Peters. If you made it this far, thank you so much for being here. You might want to check out some of my playlists and see if some of the other things that I'm putting out, and you might want to learn. I have different things about working with oracle cards. That's kind of been my focus this year, is to teach people some ideas for working with oracle cards and tarot cards together. I think people kind of get stuck in just drawing a card, and so I've really tried to make some videos, and I'm expounding on that all the way from October of 23 to October of 24. You'll find videos on using oracle cards in new ways, and I hope that this has inspired you a little bit about some new decks and how working with words can be really, really fun. I find that they're really great, and you'll see that I use those in my videos a lot. Until we meet again, may you find the deck that really floats your boat. Something that speaks to you in words.